Well, hello. And welcome to a very special Hugo Girl, the podcast, where we are reviewing a cookbook. So we are reviewing Cooking for Wizards, Warriors, and Dragons. 125 unofficial recipes inspired by The Witcher, Game of Thrones, The Broken Earth, and other fantasy favorites. And it was written by Thea James, who is a Hugo Award winner, and the recipes were by Isabel Minunni. And so we each decided to make a dish or a couple dishes. So we decided to do this special as my birthday party, kinda. Originally, I was going to have a Red and Wild themed birthday party from my very favorite movie, To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. And then decided against that, but I didn't tell Kevin that I had canceled the Red and Wild theme. So he is Red and Wild, looking great, looking festive. All right, Amy, tell us what you made.
Hello. Okay, I have made cheddar ale pottage with wild mushroom salad. Several substitutions had to be made per most cooking blogs. I had to substitute some of the beer with ginger beer because there was a very significant beer shortage in Atlanta today. And I also did not have enough broth, so I had to make it with water. So we'll see how it turns out.
Oh, it's good. I like it.
Yay!
Yeah.
This is pretty good. It turned out okay.
Yeah, I like it. All right, I've had my lactate. I'm ready to party.
We're serving this per the cookbook, bubbling hot, and we have thrown coins at our witcher, tossed a coin to our witcher.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah.
So we have this cheddar ale pottage, which is a soup, and also a salad. Amy, tell us about the salad.
The salad is a wild mushroom salad, wherein you cook the mushrooms with some stuff. And then you put them over spinach with some bacon, in this case, fake and bacon. And
thank you for the fake and bacon.
And roasted red peppers. And it's delicious. So basically we're eating cheese soup and mushroom salad. And
the mushrooms are really good.
Delicious. I got some real crazy mushrooms from the H Mart here in Atlanta. Yeah, you just cook them up. You cook them up with shallots and then you mix them up with vinegar, basically. That's pretty much the long and short of it. It's really good.
I do like a fancy mushroom.
Mm-hmm. One of them came in it was like a bloom of mushrooms. I think it was the hen of the forest or something like that. Yeah.
That's a fancy one, I think.
They're fancy. I'm telling you. I still have some fancy mushrooms at my house if we can think of anything to do with them.
I mean, they're pretty darn good just sauteed up in some butter. You know, they want to give you a portobello sandwich on the airplane or something. I don't want that. But these fancy mushrooms, all nice and buttery. Can't get mad at something that's all buttery like that.
That's true. These red peppers are supposed to be sliced. I'm sorry, everybody.
Well, I give this 2 thumbs up.
Yay! Definitely take your lactate before eating it.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. I decided to make from Tomi Adeyemi's Legacy of Orïsha series, not the goat stew because half of us here are vegetarians. So I decided to make the one-pot rice that come along with it. And it is jollof rice. And it was fun to make because I got to blend up fresh red pepper and a habanero from my garden instead of a scotch bonnet because I didn't have any of those. Spices and stuff, onion, my favorite, and then, you just cooked it. I cooked it with some very extra long grain basmati rice.
Extra.
And it's good, yeah.
Good stuff.
It's got a kick. I like it.
Yeah. That's fun that you got to grind up peppers and stuff.
Yes, I might use this in the future. It's just a fun way to cook rice with more flavor. You can blend up any vegetable you want, I think.
So you blend it up, and then you mix it up. You just stir it in with the rice?
Yep, and then you take 2 cups of water, 2 cups of this red liquidy, and then it just cooked in a big pot.
It's really good. 2 more thumbs up.
And I bet it would be really good with goat.
Yep. I was joking and said I think the goat does a lot of the heavy lifting flavor-wise, as goat is wont to do.
Back when I ate meat, I liked goat.
Yep. You would also use the red sauce to cook the goat, so.
Oh, I bet that sauce is good.
Mm-hmm. I still have some left, and it's going to be on everything this week, so.
How's this jelly, baby?
So.
Kevin got us some sweet treats.
Is this the Turkish Delight?
Jelly Babies,
No,
Jammy
the
Dodgers,
smaller one is.
Oh, Jammy
and
Dodgers.
Turkish Delight.
Was that from the British section?
Jammy Dodgers. That's the Doctor Who thing, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
and Jelly Babies, right? Which doctor likes which?
Fourth Doctor likes Jelly Babies, and the 11th likes Jammy Dodgers.
I was really excited that I was about to correct you.
These look good. I'm gonna have these for dessert, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, fish stew time.
Let's dive in.
Okay, dish number 3. I made spiced seafood stew with beetroot chutney. I need to go get that.
Oh yeah.
Hang on, guys. There are toppings.
Damn, this stew's gonna have so many flavors.
Okay, I am very glad I didn't forget about this because it was a lot of faff to make this beetroot chutney. So you're supposed to serve it with top with sour cream and a swirl of beet chutney.
Oh, okay. I would like
So
my
here's
swirl
your-
to be counterclockwise.
Here you go, guys. You're gonna swirl your own stew. Do you have a spoon, Haley? Okay.
Swirl, huh? Okay, let's see.
Okay, so.
Okay, well that chutney is really good.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, good, because it was so much work. Okay, so it has as an ingredient something called chermoula, which is like a Moroccan kind of condiment. It's a little bit like a chimichurri because it's like a paste that you make with cilantro and parsley, but very different seasonings. And so I had to make that to have 1 teaspoon of it to make this beetroot chutney. So I'm really glad that the chutney is delicious because it was it calls for 1 teaspoon of chermoula, and I was like, oh, what's that? And then you can buy like chermoula seasoning on Amazon, but it's like, that's not going to be as good. And so I was like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I'm really glad to hear that it came out good because the stew itself is pretty easy, but the condiments, the condiment that you have to make the condiment, the beetroot chutney, was quite a lot of doing.
I'd be putting that beetroot all over everything.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. The fish that goes in it is cod, and to me, this cod is too fishy.
I don't think so.
That's no fault of the recipe. That's the fault of Whole Foods now owned by Amazon. So it's Jeff Bezos' fault that this fish is too fishy. But I like it. So I was just curious about this recipe, so I just Googled some of the ingredients in it, and it's like a Moroccan tagine is what it is similar to. So it's served with couscous. It's supposed to be little couscous, but I like big couscous, so I did the thing that people do and messed with the recipe. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I like it. Fish is not too fishy, I think.
If only we knew someone who knew how to design blog posts and we could make a recipe blog post.
For who?
Like, just like, how...
You just take 37 pictures and pop on
Right.
a bunch of ads.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's how
right.
you
and
make
then
a-
you're like, and then we can have some comments that are like, well, I took out all the fish and added...
It's like that wonderful old Toast joke article. It's like, all I have is Yahtzee dice. This this recipe was horrible.
I'm going to taste this chutney by itself.
This recipe was supposed to be 500 degrees for 10 minutes. I cooked it at 100 degrees for 10 hours. It didn't work. This recipe is horrible.
Oh, the beetroot chutney is good.
it's...
So it sat overnight. When I made it last night, I tried it right out of the food processor. So you roast beets and onions and lemon juice and chermoula together, and then puree it. And like right out of the oven, after I roasted it, it was really yummy, like a good roasted beet with with all the seasoning. And then after I pureed it, I felt like it just tasted like beets, but it sat overnight, and as things tend to do,
I can taste that chermoula.
those flavors, I guess, blossomed overnight. And if you make this recipe, and I recommend that you do, make the chutney the day before. It'll taste better, and you will have saved yourself from cooking literally the whole day as you make 2 condiments for your soup.
My only advice for making the cheddar ale pottage is don't try and buy your beer on Sunday in the South.
We got rules about that.
Yeah. It'll turn into a whole thing.
So yeah, this is labor intensive but good. What do you think? Kevin's chewing.
Delicious.
Thank you.
This reminds me, because we have to, in every episode, talk about Moby Dick when we go to the Moby Dick Marathon and they bring out the cod chowder. I love a fish stew.
They have various kinds of chowder at the Moby Dick Marathon, including Portuguese, kale, and something.
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds. There's like tomato-based ones. There's cream-based ones.
Regular ones, yep.
Oh, yeah, and this recipe was inspired by N.K. Jemison's Broken Earth Trilogy. Because there is a scene where Cyanite and Alabaster go have a fish stew, and Alabaster gets poisoned.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a spoiler? Well,
but in which timeline? Who knows?
yeah, exactly. So then there's a funny note. This is a very fun cookbook. We were saying last time we were saying when we looked at it before, but it was after we quit recording, and Haley said this would make a great gift. And I definitely agree, because it's beautiful, it's illustrated, and it has like little explanations of how each recipe relates to the work in question. And at the end of this one, it says, ensure your guests aren't allergic to seafood before serving unless your goal is to send them into anaphylaxis.
Just going to report in and let you guys know that Turkish Delight is still not good.
What are the flavor hints?
Rose.
Oh, no.
It's like rose jelly.
Is it always rose? Mm-hmm. Oh.
That's my understanding.
So Edmund sold out his whole family
For rose?
For rose
candy.
jelly.
Ooh.
So I'll do this weird thing sometimes when something doesn't taste good. I'll try and eat it to get to the bottom of it.
Oh, like you keep taking bites to
Yeah.
try to figure out like what? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I completely get that.
It tastes like I'm licking a grandma.
But a chocolate-covered grandma. So
No, I don't want to keep getting to the bottom of that. I understand it. But one time we were at, what was that Mexican place on the west side where we got the bowl of queso that was just like a béarnaise?
Oh, no mas cantina. They had no mas cheese, I guess.
We got the queso and it tasted like just white.
Yeah, it was like a roux.
Yeah.
And
I
we just kept eating it. We were like, maybe if we keep eating it, it'll start tasting like cheese.
There's got to be cheese in here somewhere, and there wasn't any
wasn't.
cheese.
No, it really looked like, and it was funny because it's like we had a coupon for it for free, and it was like,
maybe they gave you the free version.
well, it said free white queso dip, and like in retrospect, I'm like, well,
Why
white queso
specify?
dip? Like it's just queso, right? It's just cheese. White queso dip. That's like made with real flavors. You
Yeah.
know, like what is it?
I guess they could have been saying it was made with like queso blanco, which is a thing, right?
I don't know. I've just never heard
making that
anyone
up?
say like.
Neither have I.
There was
I'm getting
a-
even the benefit of the doubt.
There was a crock pot filled with Elmer's glue that they gave to people that ordered this.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even salty. I think
No,
Elmer's glue would
yeah.
have been salty. It would truly tasted like nothing. Like they melted flour into milk, and that was it.
So funny, because the point of free things like that is to get people into your restaurant so you can convince them how good it is, and they'll stay and buy more food, right?
Yeah, I don't think I got an entree. I was like, oh, this is.
Yeah,
oof.
what a terrible plan.
Nomas is usually good though, so I don't want to like put them on blast as not a good restaurant because it is normally a pretty good
Well, this was
restaurant.
10 years ago, too.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been there, but I can't remember what I had or what it was.
I mean, it's like a perfectly fine Tex-Mex restaurant. Especially for being downtown, the quality of restaurants downtown is not great. So I would say for downtown, it is very good.
Okay, so these are some doctor's favorite.
the 11th Doctor,
Which one is he?
Matt Smith.
Yeah, that tracks, I guess.
Oh, she does not look happy with this cookie.
I like them. I think they're pretty good.
Are you getting to the bottom of that cookie, Haley?
I mean, they're a little like, they're not. How do you describe?
They taste like an office.
I do not agree.
I don't know. I like them.
I like them. I think they're a little bit buttery, maybe a little dry, but like I like them. I think they're good.
I like anything jam filled.
I like the jam. Jam is. If that was like a vanilla Oreo, it would have been great.
It's kind of a shortbread.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
not-
like
it's
shortbread,
not a
but it's
super
not
flavorful cookie.
It's like in between a shortbread and a Ritz cracker.
No, it's.
I mean, in my mouth it does. So
You
It-
know
it
what? I
is
know
crumbly.
what you
It is
mean.
crumbly.
Now that I have another one, I know what you mean by it tastes like an office.
it tastes like someone's house. Like it absorbed the taste of someone's house.
I know what you mean.
I think the potential is great. The crumb, excellent. The jam, great. But if they're supposed to taste like that, something's wrong.
It's like a little bit drywall, a little bit fragrance.
Yep.
I got it.
I could also
I
be.
still like it though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I just wish it was a vanilla Oreo instead of whatever that shortbread weirdness is. But it could also be still tainted by The Turkish delight.
Chocolate covered grandma?
I'm not eating that, man. You guys have groped it.
Sorry.
I'm bad. I'm unlikely to eat after people anyway, but the handling that, that happened in that Turkish delight.
My best friend in high school, Josh, ate his burritos. I'm going to show you with a piece of bread. He would like wrap it in between his fingers like that.
What?
And we used to say that Josh manhandled his burritos because like he would just somehow get them in between 2 or 3 fingers and eat it.
So the bread is like laced in between her fingers.
Like in between 2, like
Like first finger and ring finger are on one side of the burrito and middle finger and pinky finger are on the other side of the burrito.
Josh listens to this podcast too, so hey.
Hey, Josh, you eat your burritos weird. Keep listening.
At least he did it in 1998. So
Okay, I think that concludes our savory course and our grocery store British section candy course. So the only thing left to eat is birthday cake.
Yay!
is that just your cake? Or?
It's Bilbo and Frodo's cake. All right, clear some of this stuff out of the way. Oh, thank you, Amy. So there are 36 candles on this cake. And Haley just confronted me in the kitchen about the 36 candles because there should be 38. And here's the thing that I did that doesn't make sense. So,
As we know, my mother stopped at 36.
oh,
so
she did.
so
I
can you.
forgot. Okay. Good to know. So the candles that I wanted them to look like Bilbo's candles. So I wanted kind of long, skinny white candles. And they came in 12 packs, and I could only find them on Party City website. And so I got 3 packs, which was 36. And then I was like, I don't want to buy a whole another pack for just 2 candles, even though they were only like $2.69, and I paid like $9 to ship them. So as soon as I hit purchase, I was like, why didn't I just? But anyway, it's fine. But I want to introduce this dish.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
So this is Bilbo and Frodo's birthday trilogy layer cake, inspired by Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy. So
Never heard of it.
which one is it? When is it? Bilbo's Fellowship of the Rings, the first one?
Fellowship,
and that's
yep.
Bilbo's 11th birthday, and I think Frodo's 33rd or 30-something. And they're having the birthday party, and they have the big cake. And so this is a version of that. And it is a yellow cake, 3 layers with elderflower liqueur.
Yeah.
And it is filled with whipped cream and pureed strawberries and fresh sliced strawberries.
Yes, please.
And it's got a vanilla buttercream on the outside. And
Yum.
it is topped with lots of fruit and 3 zinnias that I got this morning at the farmer's market. And they had them in a basket that said edible. And I said, oh, great. I needed those for a cake. And the woman said, only use the petals. And I was like, okay, like tear the flower petals off? And she was like, I just am trying to stress to you, do not eat the seeds. And I was like, okay.
So not edible.
I said, I'm not going to actually eat the flower. I just need it for a cake decoration. She was like, and only the petals. So I got nervous about it. So I only put them on the bottom on the cake platter so that the seeds were not in danger of like falling on the cake.
We can report that the only petals are touching the cake.
What do we think
Yeah.
happens if you
Eat it. Do it.
Definitely you die based on, I mean, she said, I'm just really trying to stress to you, not the seeds. And I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Okay.
That's like the guy the sushi chef that has to cut up the one piece of like the puffer fish that isn't poisonous, but the rest of it is. Just seems like I would get another fish.
Get a
to
different
serve.
fish, yeah.
Where you could eat the whole fish.
All right. Ready
Yay.
to cut into this thing?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, God. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Can you cut me a tiny chunk of cake meat? I got plenty of icing.
Sure.
I need some of the cake meat. Gotta balance out.
I am curious if anybody out there would like to weigh in on the cake meat versus icing debate. I think cake meat is the best part.
Oh,
I know that there are other people who think icing is the best part.
I thought you were gonna say, because I've had people in my life say that cake meat is not the right term.
It's obviously the correct term. That wasn't even...
Cake flesh.
But just saying cake isn't.
Implies the icing as well.
Yeah, it's the gestalt, right?
That feels good.
It's the same way. I mean, I say ATM machine too, and I'm fine with it. I also say chai tea.
I don't say ATM machine because that's wrong, but I do say chai tea even though that's
I'm
wrong.
going to tell you a joke from that new Wellington Supernatural.
Oh yeah.
So back when What We Do in the Shadows was new on TV, and Kevin and I watched it before Amy and Haley ever watched it, and I told them basically the whole plot of every episode after we watched
every
it.
joke.
Yeah.
Bat.
And creepy paper was my favorite for a while. So anyway, it turned out that they both really liked that. When you guys watched it, you said like it was actually more fun.
It was like watching the primary source material.
So of every joke I've been making for like 3 months. So anyway, now the spin-off show is available on HBO Max called Wellington Supernatural. And now I can't remember. Wellington Paranormal. Sorry. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin's little stage whisper. And now I cannot remember.
One joke.
I talked for so long, and I was just going to tell you the joke, and now I can't remember. Pin number. Thank you, Kevin. Gosh, this is why I'm glad you're in my life. So the police chief is like, he's silly, and he types in his pin, and it's just like 5. And the one of the cops who the show is about is like, you're supposed. Do you think like people can guess that? It's supposed to be 4 digits, and he was like, "Oh, you need pin numbers." And Kevin, all right, what did I miss? Oh, okay. So yeah, it's a funny show. Yeah, it's definitely in the spirit of What We Do in the Shadows. You should definitely watch it. There you go. So one thing I will say about this recipe is I think it is suitable for more experienced bakers because it is, for example, the filling is whipped cream with strawberry puree. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it is hot and humid here. So I made stabilized whipped cream, which holds up and does not come apart. Like if you mix another
I would never have ever
liquid
done
into it, or it's like a hot day. Yeah, you can. There are a variety of ways to do it, but I used gelatin to stabilize it. Yeah. And I think, had I not done that, I think it would really be running everywhere. So
It was really hot yesterday. Did you make it yesterday?
no, well, I made the cakes like a week ago, as you all know, because I said I was making the cakes and you both panicked.
Like, wait, what?
Because I always make my cakes ahead of time and
smart.
freeze them. So I made the filling and frosting and assembled it this morning, but I still just wasn't sure, especially because the cake's like kind of heavy, and so I was not sure how the whipped cream would stand up, so I stabilized it.
You make your cake meat.
Yeah. Yes, I make my cake flesh
Smoked
ahead
and
of
cured.
time and freeze the flesh.
The best part of this cake is that every couple minutes another berry rolls down, and sometimes it lands on your plate. Very tasty.
The strawberry filling is really good.
Yeah, it is.
Listen, there's not much better to me than just whipped cream and strawberries. Like, it's the best thing to me.
There's songs about it.
Are there?
I think so.
What are we going to do with all this cake, you guys?
Cake soup, cake sandwiches,
Cake tetrazzini.
cake tetrazzini,
Cake casserole, yeah.
cake on the cob.
There you go.
This is my entire dream come true.
Good. Because this cake was a lot of work, so I'm glad it's good. It's really yummy though. And I think the elderflower liqueur, I was surprised at how yummy it is. It actually kind of tastes like lychee.
Oh.
Oh, I thought that was a picture of
I do taste that.
cake. Oh.
I don't think I can.
I think I do taste that.
The elderflower?
Yeah. I didn't realize that's what that was.
It's like, I think it's a little subsumed in the strawberry and all the frosting, but
Yeah.
when so I made this cake 2 times. The cake meets 2 times. First time I made it, this is another thing I would say about it's maybe a little better for somebody who's baked a lot. When I set the butter out to soften, it was very hot in our kitchen and the butter got too soft. And I thought, I'm sure it's fine. And I charged forth. And it was fine, but the first batch of cakes that I made definitely had some kind of greasy spots in them. And so I ended up making them again with butter that was like not so soft. So anyway, I made them twice, and so I got to taste the first round before I tossed them. And the elderflower, you could definitely taste it in the undressed cake meats.
Mm-hmm.
I could taste when I was eating my naked meat just now. I could definitely taste it. I massacred the middle of that cake.
That's fine. That's what it's for.
It looks like a diorama of someone's house.
Cross section.
Like those little shoebox houses that you make in school. Well,
Hi.
here we are at the end of this meal, and we're unsure how to wrap up this episode. We demolished the cake.
We did demolish the cake.
Literally, from like the inside out.
Yeah, I'm gonna
We
throw
gutted
a picture up on social because I've never seen a cake end up like this.
Yeah. Well, we started from the top, like it's like a 4-dimensional cake or something.
Because it has that little layer on top, so it makes the cutting process a little confusing. But it was fun. This was fun, guys.
It was a good time. Thank you for the book.
Yes, Thea and Isabel, thank you for the book. And thank you to Elise from their publisher who reached out
Yes.
to us
Super nice.
to ask if we would like to review it. It was fun, and the food was yummy, and I'll definitely make more stuff from it. And this was a fun way to spend my birthday.
Birthday.
Thank you.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Ella Fitzgerald, stop stealing my stew.